There are over 10,000 cards in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game. From Pot of Greed to Firewall Dragon, the possibilities are endless. In this series, can your favorite content creators figure out what card I'm thinking of? I've got $100, and they've got 10 questions. It could literally be anything. Welcome to Guess That Card. If you want 5% off any singles or sealed product, click the affiliate links in the description and use code Cimoooooooo5. And clicking the TCG Player affiliate link before you shop helps support us to provide you with more amazing content. Ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. It's time to guess that card. Today's guest is one of the best Yu-Gi-Oh! Streamers on Twitch. You know him, you love him, the one and only Distant Coder. How you doing, buddy?
One of the best judges on Twitch. Why you gotta lie to the people like that? Come on now. I am ready to guess
one of
that
the streamers
card,
on
Alex.
Twitch.
I am ready to guess that card, bro.
Are you? Well,
oh, I'm so ready.
If it is your first time watching this show, because I know it's your first time on this show, I'll give you a brief rundown. So you get to ask me 10 yes or no questions to help figure out the card that it is that I am thinking of. If you guess it correctly before the 10 questions expire, you will win yourself $100. And this is $100 US, so that's like $1 million in Canadian.
Yeah,
so
dude,
are you ready?
That's it. I'm literally gonna be able to buy a brand new fucking car. Let's go. I'm ready.
All right, so it's time, Coder, to guess that card. The one thing I will clarify is that your final guess at the end of the 10 questions does not count as a question. So you get 10 questions and then your final guess. So technically that's like your 11th if you want to consider it that way. But question number 1, what is your first question?
Luckily for me, I have seen things similar to this be done before. Specifically, on the Crush Cards Subathon, they had invited Dual Daddy on, and they played something very similar to this. It was just Yu-Gi-Oh! 20 questions, and I picked up what the good questions and the bad questions were from seeing that. So I think I have a pretty good way to start. So I'm gonna run it. Question number 1 is gonna be very broad, very simple, but then we're gonna narrow it down very quickly. Is it a monster?
Yes, it is a monster.
It is a monster. Okay, so now we get to run with one of the OP questions. Is the monster dark, light, or fire? Yes or no?
No.
Broken! And that is how you clear 3 attributes. So it has to be water, earth, or wind. Water, earth, or wind.
Correct. And I will be writing down these questions for you to repeat in case you forget later on.
Epic. Okay, awesome. So I have 8 more to go. Is the monster a monster that can be normal summoned or set without tributing?
Can the monster be normal summoned or set without tributing?
Yes.
Yes.
Can be normal summoned or set without tributing. So it's level 4 or
These
lower.
are some very specific questions. You definitely picked up some tips from them.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. So it's definitely level 4 or lower, or it's a bigger monster that... Okay, so we have... So it's a monster for sure.
So,
I'm looking at my DB.
I
I haven't even looked at DB at all yet, but so it's a monster that is either, it could be divine, but oh dude, no, they can't be normal summon set without tributing. There are no divine monsters that can, so it's impossible that it's divine. So it's earth, water, or wind, which narrows it down quite a lot. Because if you look at DB, water there's a lot, but like it's probably level 4. So I'm just gonna write that it's level 4 or lower, and it's not an extra deck monster. It has to be a main deck monster because it can be normal summoner set, therefore not an extra deck monster. So I'm gonna assume it's gonna be an effect monster. In which case this narrows down 21 pages on water, a lot less on 21 pages on wind, and 50 pages on Earth. We still have a ways to go.
Okay, so you've got about 8,000 cards to go through. Fantastic.
Yeah, but it's fine. It's fine. We have seven cards to go. I've used 3, so I have 7 more. Okay, that's not bad.
Correct. So sir, currently you know it's a monster that is not dark, light, or fire, and the monster can be normal summoned or set without tributing.
Where my mind is going to right now is I want to start asking questions about the effect of the monster.
Interesting.
And the reason why I'm trying to go with like effect is because I feel like I could narrow it down quite a bit if I ask something along the lines of, does the monster have a trigger effect when summoned? Or does the monster possess an ignition effect or something along those lines?
Yeah, I figured the judge would ask the very intricate technical questions.
Yeah, I definitely feel like narrowing down what kind of effects the card card has is probably a good idea. I assume it's an effect monster. I don't think you'd be asking me a vanilla because I feel like that would narrow it down a lot. Like, I'm just looking at this list here, and if I was to write normal monster, like, the list is tiny. So tiny. Like, 10 pages of earths, like 5 pages of waters, and 3 pages of winds. It would be way too easy. I don't think you would be going for something like that. So I definitely think
we have 7 questions left, though.
I mean, only, bro. So that's more than half. What do you mean? Okay.
I don't know.
It can be normal summoner set without tributing. I'm thinking if I want to ask if it has more than one effect. So like asking if it has.
Interesting.
Because like that would narrow it down too. Because you got like the older cards that'll typically only have one. Some of them that have less. I have quite a bit. Okay. Was the card released sometime in the year of 2016 or more, like 2016 to now, or before 2016? So is it a card that released in 2016 or later, is my question.
Was it a card that was released in 2016 or later? That's the question?
That is my question, yeah.
No.
No. Okay, so now we're going into the territory of cards that I don't know because I started playing in 2016. Awesome. That's glad. I'm glad to hear that. You love to hear it.
Could make it too easy for you, right?
No, that's very fair. That's very, very fair.
You said you like games, so.
I do like games. I definitely like games. The thing is that with only 10 questions, it's hard to narrow down. Like, I can't go, is it level 1? Is it level 2? Is it level 3? Like, I feel like that's difficult.
That is true. That's why I only give you 10 questions. And I can tell you, thus far on the series, someone has gotten it in 10 questions.
One person got it. Okay. So I've gone through 4. I have 6 more. So if this is an older card, you know, I feel like I have to kind of throw out a Hail Mary here. I feel like it definitely.
I mean, you have 6 questions.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Does the monster have 1,000 or less attack points?
No.
So it's above 1,000 attack.
And that is your halfway point.
Okay, so I said 1,000 or less. So I'm gonna write 1,001 on DB because there's no way it has exactly 1,000 attack. That narrows down the search quite a bit. It's an older card.
To reiterate, you know it's a monster that is not dark, light, or fire. The monster can be normal summoned or set without tributing. It is not released in 2016 or later, and it does not have 1,000 or less attack.
So that's 5 questions. I have 5 more to go. Does the monster have an effect that is triggered by its summon?
Does the monster have an effect that is triggered by its summon? No.
It does not have an effect triggered by its own summon. I have 4 more questions. This is rough. This is rough. This is rough. This is rough. This is rough.
I know, you're running out of questions pretty quick now. You only got 4 left.
I mean, that rules out like a lot of stuff. Like, I feel like there's a lot of cards that trigger on summon.
Especially prior to 2016, I would agree with you.
There's
Older cards,
a lot
of them were like that.
Yeah. So I feel like I'm narrowing it down quite a bit. Like, I'm looking at all these cards. Like, I'm looking through the page of wins, and like, these are all either recent cards or effects or cards that have an effect when they're normal summoned. So, but I feel like now I have to kind of go for like the epic questions, like the big ones. You know, like something like, is it like older than 2006 or some shit, or is it a flip effect? You know, like that's the kind of thing that would narrow it down really.
That still filters out a lot.
I mean, there's not that many flip. Like, I'm gonna look at how many flip monsters I have to be looking through here. So flip effect monsters, there's 5 of them in wind, 3 of them in water, and like 12 of them in earth that are still like fit in the matrix. I don't feel like I feel like it doesn't narrow it down that much. It has above 1,000 attack. Doesn't have an effect triggered upon its summon. Okay, can I ask you if I can ask a specific question without it counting or whatever?
Depending on the question.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna say like, can I ask you this? And if I can, then I'll probably ask it. Can I ask you if the card has like seen meta relevance at some point? Like, has it been in topping lists? Can I ask that or no?
I will answer you. Any yes or no question is pretty much fair game.
Okay, so has the card...
To answer that question...
Yeah, okay,
yes.
So has the card been in a, like YCS or like, you know, like, has it seen meta relevance? Has it been in topping deck lists?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so I think we can rule out a lot of these cards all of a sudden. Adamantispators are off the table. I'm going to go through this list. I'm going to take a minute.
Take your time.
I have what?
Question 8. You have 3 questions left. $100 US on the line, buddy. That new car is waiting for you.
3 more. I want that new car, bro. I want that new car. Not an effect that triggers when normal summoner set. So I'm going to look through and what I know has topped. Amazonas hasn't really topped anything. Those are old, though. Amorphage haven't topped shit. Ooh, ooh, ah, ah. Are you Berserk Gorilla? Berserk Gorilla is a card that fits here, and Berserk Gorilla has definitely seen meta relevance. Same for Bazoo. Oh, that makes things hard. I feel like you have to throw Hail Marys at this point, and I feel like there's definitely some Hail Marys that I can throw. I just have to look through this list really quickly because I think I know what my next question I'm going to ask you is.
Okay, while you're thinking that through, I'll give you a quick refresher. You know it's a monster that's not dark, light, or fire. Can be normal summoned or set without tributing. It is not released 2016 or later. The monster does not have 1,000 or less attack. It does not have an effect triggered by its summon, and it has been in topping deck lists.
Is the card part of an archetype?
Yes.
It is an archetype card. That rules out a lot of the stuff that I was looking at here. So, like, it can't be just, like, it can't be Berserk Gorilla. It can't be Bazoo. It can't be, like, Chiron the Mage.
Well, they're all apes, so...
Yeah, but they're not part of an archetype.
I know. I'm just messing with you. I'm messing with you.
They're not part of an archetype. It
They're
could be
part
like
of the Moki archetype.
It could be DD Assailant, bro. This card's Earth for some fucking reason. It could be a hero card. Oh, no.
Asking is it part of an archetype has been a common trend on the show and has been both good and bad.
Well, I feel like it definitely rules out
instance.
a lot. I just wish DB had a filter for archetype card, you know? Two questions.
More. This is your 9th question. You have one afterwards, and then you get to make your selection.
It doesn't have an effect on summon. Like, I feel like there are definitely a lot of questions that narrow things down, but I feel like they don't narrow things down enough. Okay, I have my next question.
Okay, this is your 9th question. Do you keep that in mind?
Does the card have an ignition effect?
Does the card have an ignition effect? Is that the question?
That is the question.
No.
It doesn't have a fucking ignition effect. Oh my god. And how many...
This is your last question.
I'm not getting this. There's no way I'm getting this.
One question could make the difference.
There's no way I'm getting this. There is absolutely no way.
I will just tell you this. If you don't get it, you're probably going to be kicking yourself by the end.
No, come on. Don't tell me that. It has to be an effect monster. Wait, can you
I mean,
you said that it has an effect when summoned, so yeah, I know that it is an effect monster and it is part of an archetype.
Correct. Yes.
Wait. I think I know what card this is.
Do you?
I'm gonna ask a Hail Mary question here.
This is your 10th question, so you might have to.
I think I'm going to ask a Hail Mary question that will narrow this down. Is it a card that I have been known to play before? Like, is this a card that people, like, they would see this card and they go like, oh, this is part of an archetype Coder has played?
Yes.
Oh, I know what it is. I think I know what it is.
That was your last question, Coder. So the moment of truth, drum roll please, is your final selection. Coder, can you guess that card?
Is it Gem Armadillo?
No,
Fuck!
It is not Gem Armadillo. Shit. Oh my god. Now,
oh man,
how are you feeling, Coder? Tell me how you got to that conclusion first of all.
I got the Gem Armadillo because that thing that you say is I'll be kicking myself if I don't get it. I'm like, okay, so if this is a card in an archetype that I've played, Gem Armadillo is an old card. It has an effect upon its normal summon. It's an Earth. You can normal summon it. It has over 1,000 attack. And I was like, okay, it doesn't have an ignition effect. And you said like, and I'm known for playing Gem Knights. And like, I remember the reason why I went with Armadillo is because I know that the first interaction you and I had was my Gem Knight deck profile at the YCS in Fort Worth in like 2019. And I remember Vlad was there and he was like making fun of me for playing 2 Gem Armadillo, and it was like a big meme thing. And I was like, Alex probably went back into something that we did together and he's gonna hit me with the Gem Armadillo, but I was wrong. What was it? Was it a Gem Knight card?
I'm a fair man, Coder, and I like to play games. So I'm going to make you a deal. The game is not over if you don't wish it to be.
Okay.
At the reduction of $10 off your prize per question, which means you're probably not going to be able to buy that car now, I will give you an additional question for $10 getting knocked off your prize money. So that in theory bestows you with another 10 questions at most. Feel free to go ahead and ask some more questions and maybe you'll be able to figure it out.
I'm down to play this game. I'm down to run it. Okay. We got this. We can do this.
Okay.
So what archetypes do I play? I play Salad, but we know it's not a fire because we know it's water, wind, or earth. I've played the Gem Knights infinitely. I've played it a in Gem Knights forever. I played Magispectors. Oh, wait, no, you said it doesn't have an effect on summon, right? Oh, I'm so stupid. Then Gem Armadillo was the worst fucking guess. I completely blanked. Then if it doesn't have an effect on summon and doesn't have an ignition effect, it is a Gem Knight card, but it's not Armadillo. It's not Armadillo. It's not Alexandrite, a card that I'm known for playing that can be normal summoned or set. Okay, I know what my next question is going to be.
What is your 11th question?
Does the card have an effect which triggers when it hits the graveyard to some capacity, regardless of where it's sent from? Because, like, I know Lazuli is if sent from anywhere, Obsidian is specifically if sent from hand. I'm just asking, does it have a trigger effect that triggers when it is sent to the graveyard in some capacity?
Yes.
It does. Okay, so it's either Obsidian. Oh my god, I feel like I hard through. I feel like I hard
you
through saying Gem Armadillo.
You got so tunneled.
Oh, dude, I'm in the tunnel. Gage is out here helping me paint that shit, bro. Insane. Insane. All right, it's Obsidian or Lazuli. So I assume if I hazard another guess, that's it.
So this is your 12th question. And so if you ask the question what the card is right here, you will win a total of $80 because that counts as you asking a question now. You don't get a freebie like you did for the first guess. So, Coder, can you guess that card if you think you have it narrowed down to just only 2?
Like, because the only other archetype I play is Unchained, and they all have ignition effects and shit. They do have effects when they hit the graveyard, though, but, like, they're the only one... No, the only one it could be is Rakea. That is the only Unchained card, and they all came out after 2016, because I'm known for Link archetypes, and these aren't Link cards. What else did I fucking play? Did I play something else? I feel like it has to be, like, a Solid Rocks card. I feel like it has to be. I'm gonna go with my girl... Is the card Gem Knight Lazuli?
No.
Then it has to be. Is the card Gem Knight Obsidian?
Yes! Congratulations! Woo!
My god, dude. I threw in that Armadillo pick so hard. I tunneled it. I was like, it has an ignition effect on summon. It is Armadillo. And then it just
has to be Armadillo.
I was so sure.
when you ask the question about is it a card you're known for playing, I mean, it's a very tricky question, right? Because yes, you're known for playing Gem Knights, but the Armadillo thing in particular is something that you would have immediately gravitated towards because of our past history.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, I did take that into account when I decided to pick Obsidian for this quiz.
Oh, so you looked at an Armadillo and you were like, I think he would pick this one, so I'm going to get another one.
I have done this in previous episodes with other guests, yes, where I think about the track that they might go down with their logic, and I try to give them a bit of a curveball because it'd be too easy otherwise. And
the
so,
5-head. So smart.
You did get it in 13 questions, though, and you still won yourself $70 US. So,
yeah,
I mean, hey, congratulations.
That's like just shy of a car. I won't
just
complain.
Shy. Yeah, maybe like without the tires, right?
I mean, yeah, no, it's fine. I just can't get, you know, like one tire. I can get 3 of them plus the car plus, you know, everything else. Like, I think I'll be very, very satisfied with that.
So in retrospect, how are you feeling? I mean, looking back at your questions, I think you actually asked some very good questions. I think later on, some of your questions were a bit too specific.
Yeah.
Almost?
Yeah, I definitely, because I think with 10 questions, like when you get into like question, you know, like 8, 9, 10, you kind of have to throw Hail Marys. Like very early on, I had the idea of, because the thing is, I felt like if I asked questions that were too vague, because I had thought a lot earlier of asking, does the card have an ignition effect, a trigger effect that triggers in the graveyard? But like, the one thing with like the DB search is that it's very difficult to narrow it down like that. Like I could have narrowed down through like graveyard or something like that. Right, but I didn't know if like that was something that was a good or a bad idea in all honesty. In retrospect, in hindsight, I definitely probably should have. But I was like with questions number 8, 9, 10, I really wanted to go for Hail Marys. Like I wanted to ask, you know, is it a flip? Because if it is, bro, there's like 10 cards on that list.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
And like I think the early on questions, like asking it, is it one of these 3 biggest, like the archetypes with the most cards? Because I believe Fire of the non-light or dark is the attribute that has the most cards. Let me check actually. So Fire has 34 pages. Water has 42. Okay, so I did not know. I was wrong. But, oh, Earth has the most. Oh, okay. So the smartest pick would have been, like, to ask... Well, actually, I think if I would have asked, is it a light, dark, or Earth? I would have been fucking tunneling into lights and darks.
I will tell you, though, I do have another card in mind if you'd like to run it back and try to redeem yourself. There's no prize money on the line for this one, but this is for your ego alone.
I'm down, bro. I'll get it in 8 questions. Easy.
8 questions. Are you going to commit to that?
Oh, yeah. I'll get it in 8. Easy peasy.
Okay. 8 questions, he says. Let's go ahead and reset set. And Coder, go ahead and guess that card. Go ahead and ask your first question.
Okay, is it a light, dark, or earth monster?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I didn't have to ask if it was a monster at the start. So we've shaved off one question from last time.
Already improving from your first set.
It is a light, dark, or earth monster. Is it a monster that can be normal summoned or set without tributing?
No.
Has the card released 2016 and onward, like 2016 to now?
Yes.
Is it an Unchained card, Cimo?
No.
It's not an Unchained. Oh my god, I went with the insane. Is it a Link monster?
The gut reaction. Is it a Link monster?
Is it a Link monster?
No.
Wow, and I'm 5 questions in.
3 questions left, buddy. You said you were gonna get it at 8.
Yeah, no, I'll get it. I'll get it for sure. It released 2016 and onward, but it is not a Link monster. Is it a card that I am known for playing?
No.
No. Okay. 1 question to rule them all. All right, monster.
We have 2 questions. This is question 7 coming up.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So you have 2 left, and then I'll give you your guess just like the first time. You get your 8 questions, then the guess.
Okay, you know what? I feel like if I narrow it down slightly, I can guess what the card is. Is it an extra deck monster?
Yes.
Okay, so I could definitely narrow this down now. With it being an extra deck monster, released 2016 and onward.
So you currently know it is a light, dark, or earth monster. It cannot be normal summoned or set without tributing. It is 2016 and onward. It is not an Unchained. It's not a Link monster. It is not a card you are known for playing, and it is an extra deck monster. This is your last question since you confidently proclaimed that you were going to get this in 8.
Easy. We throw the ultimate like Hail Mary here. Is it an Xyz monster?
No.
It is not. Okay, I can get this. I can deadass get this. So it's a fusion or a synchro that released in 2016 or onward.
So that was your last question. Next would be your guess.
Yeah. I got this.
It is a lighter, darker earth monster. Cannot be normal summoned or set without tributing, you know, that whole condition. It is 2016 and onward was its release. It is not an Unchained. It's not a Link monster. It is not a card you're known for playing. It is an extra deck monster, and it is not an Xyz monster. Distant Coder, can you guess that card?
It's Bishbalkin.
Bishbalkin is correct, Coder! You have redeemed yourself! Congratulations!
Oh my god. I knew you would do this shit to me. You know how I know? Because if I remember right, you don't comment on very many like videos on Yu-Gi-Oh! YouTube, but going through the list of synchros, I specifically remember you commenting on my Bishbalkin video. I remember you commenting on it, and I was like, yeah, this has to be it.
Well, you have redeemed yourself, buddy.
Let's
Congratulations.
go.
You're also
suck.
walking away with $70. Yes, you do not suck. You ended up going 1 for 1, which is perfectly fine. To be fair, you still got it right in the other game. You just didn't get it right in the 10 questions. But you redeemed yourself because you got this one right in 8. So it's sort of like balances itself out.
I literally went balls deep, and I was like, I'm gonna make myself make it harder on me. 8 questions. I got it. Let's go, dude.
Nailed it. It was getting to be a nail biter because as soon as you asked if it's an Unchained, I think that's a fair question to ask considering it's you. But at the same time, that didn't really narrow out a lot of the card pool.
That did not narrow a whole lot down. But like the thing is, I feel like when you give yourself like a small time frame of years, I feel like that narrows it down a lot. Like even though there's a lot of cards that come out every year, I feel like being able to narrow it down to like the game's been out since what, like 2002, and I narrowed it down to like the last 6 years out of the last like 25. I literally narrowed it down to like a sixth of the entire card pool, you know?
Absolutely. No, it's very fascinating seeing the different strategies that all of the different competitors have used, because I would say like some of the questions are similar, but most of them are actually quite different. You all take vastly different approaches in how you narrow things down. And then it's funny because then usually the second time around, you can tell that you've like refined on the mistakes that you made in the past.
Yeah, you literally have the strats narrowed down. Okay.
Exactly. But you were able to guess 1 card out of literally tens of thousands of Yu-Gi-Oh! cards.
We got Bishbalkin. We got the Bishbalkin.
You got Bishbalkin. He's back. He did not torment you again like he has
There
before.
was no way I was letting this guy get the best of me, bro. I hate this freaking
You were going to
card.
live that down. I think you're probably already kicking yourself for Obsidian, but this, if you did not get this, that was going to be the end of you.
Dude, they banned Hulk in Master Duel. I can't get Bishbalkin no more. Life is good, bro. Life is good.
So guys, thank you so much for watching another episode of Guess That Card. Be sure to let me know down in the comments any other of your fellow creators that you want to see on the show. Thank you all so much for watching the video, and we will see you next time. So guys, that's gonna wrap it up for another video. I really hope you all enjoyed. Let's go ahead and shout the patrons for all of their continued support. So shoutouts to Shout1317, Tim00x3, Moto, MBT Play Madolce, Cameron Smith, Pony Stark Part 2, The Synchro Guy, Dan the Man Hoban, Phoenix the Immortal, I Ship MBT and Simo, Draconic Jordan Coons, Iron Bladesman, Jesse Wood, Chris Hood, Valen Jackson, Dylan Hunter, Cody Brett's Extremely Vulgar Man, Little Fadeleaf, Brody Eastwood, Carlos DT, Flannel Daddy, Hornet Inuna Taisho, TC Gaming, thanks for the sleeves, Dad, Max Matthew Brady, Twinkle Muncher, Eater of Crayons, Luabon Yodabon, Helios 515, Simo's Chaos Cooking Draft, Simping for Simo, Cheeks McLapperty, Stolfin Amethyst, Dalton, LGMBTQ, Nim Noodle, Mallow Branch of the Burning Tunnels, Wonder Waffle, Skull Servant and the Wandering Doomed or Boyfriends, MBT cancel by all community soon, cancel by all committee soon, cancel by all players soon, Aw Yus, Unis the Bus, The Undertaker versus Simo and MBT, Shrugs X, The Crystal Beast Enthusiast, ITF, and Corvain. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.